How to Force Yourself to Take Action, written and published by Mindset Masters Audiobooks. Breaking through resistance. Taking action is the bridge between dreams and reality, yet many people struggle to cross it. Whether it's procrastination, fear, or self-doubt, something always seems to hold us back. The key to overcoming these barriers isn't motivation, it's discipline, structure, and mental conditioning. The myth of motivation, one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves, is that we need to feel motivated before we can act. The truth is, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, and if we wait for the perfect moment, we'll be stuck in a cycle of inaction. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They build systems that force them to move forward, no matter how they feel. The power of identity shift. If you see yourself as someone who struggles to take action, your mind will reinforce that belief. Instead, shift your identity. Stop saying, "I'm someone who procrastinates." Start saying, "I'm someone who gets things done." Your actions will begin to align with this new self-image. The 5-second rule, a simple but powerful technique to break hesitation, is the 5-second rule, introduced by Mel Robbins. When you feel the urge to act, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. This interrupts the brain's tendency to overthink and pushes you into action before fear and excuses take over. Removing decision fatigue. Every day we make countless decisions, and each one drains our mental energy. By the time we get to important tasks, we feel exhausted and delay action. To counter this, plan ahead. Decide the night before what tasks you'll tackle first. Reduce choices. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit daily to eliminate unnecessary decisions. Simplify where you can. Use routines. The less you have to think about what to do next, the easier it becomes to execute. Action over perfection. Many people delay action because they want things to be just right. Perfectionism is an illusion that keeps us stuck. The reality is, action leads to improvement. Start before you feel ready, and refine as you go. This journey isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions, it's about creating momentum. The faster you learn to move despite hesitation, the sooner you break free from inaction. Overcoming the mental barriers to action. The greatest obstacle to taking action is not a lack of knowledge or skill, it's the internal resistance created by fear, doubt, and overthinking. If you want to force yourself to take action, you must learn how to overpower these mental barriers. The paralysis of overthinking, overanalyzing every step, can be one of the biggest roadblocks to progress. When you spend too much time thinking about what could go wrong, you create unnecessary fear that keeps you stuck. The solution: shorten the thinking phase and move into action faster. Set a strict decision-making window. Give yourself only a few minutes to decide, then take the next step immediately. Adopt a fail fast, learn fast mindset. Every mistake is a lesson that speeds up success. Trust that progress comes from movement, not from perfect planning. Eliminating fear through exposure. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown stop many people from acting. The only way to defeat fear is to face it. This doesn't mean jumping into extreme discomfort all at once, but rather gradual exposure. If you're afraid to speak up in meetings, start by making one small comment. If you're scared to launch a business, take the first micro step. Register the name, create a simple website, or make one social media post. If fear of failure stops you, redefine failure as learning. The only true failure is inaction. The do it now principle. Whenever you feel hesitation creeping in, practice saying, "Do it now," out loud. This simple phrase signals your brain that there is no room for delay. It conditions you to move quickly, rather than getting stuck in analysis paralysis. When you think of sending that email, say "Do it now," and send it immediately. When you feel resistance to working out, say "Do it now," and start moving. When procrastination kicks in, say "Do it now," and take the first step toward your goal. Using pain and pleasure to your advantage. Humans are wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. If taking action feels painful, you will resist it. But if inaction becomes more painful, you will move forward. Create immediate consequences for inaction. If you don't complete a task, commit to donating money to a cause you dislike. Reward yourself for progress. Attach a pleasurable reward to completing actions, even small ones. Visualize the pain of staying stuck. Imagine where your life will be in 5 years if you continue to delay action. Then visualize where you could be if you start now. Breaking the cycle of hesitation. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to act. Action is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Force yourself to take the first step immediately, no matter how small. Taking action is not about feeling ready. It's about training yourself to move forward, despite discomfort. If you master this, you will gain control over your life like never before. The power of momentum, how small actions lead to massive change. Taking action isn't about making one big leap, it's about building unstoppable momentum. The hardest part of any journey is the beginning, but once you start moving, each step becomes easier. The key is to force yourself to take one small action consistently, no matter how insignificant it seems. The first step is always the hardest. Many people wait for the right moment to start. They think they need the perfect conditions, complete knowledge, or total confidence before taking action. But the truth is, you gain confidence by acting, not by waiting. If you're struggling to start a task, reduce the effort required. Just commit to 5 minutes. Often once you start, you'll keep going. If a goal feels overwhelming, focus only on the next step. Thinking too far ahead can create fear and doubt. If you're stuck in inaction, count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move immediately. How small wins create massive success. Small actions might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they create unstoppable progress. Every time you take action, you reinforce the habit of doing instead of waiting. One push-up today leads to a workout routine. Writing one sentence today leads to finishing a book. Making one sales call today leads to a thriving business. Each time you act, you strengthen your ability to take action again. Over time, this builds massive momentum, making future actions easier and automatic. Overcoming resistance with the 2-minute rule. If a task feels too difficult, shrink it down to something you can complete in 2 minutes or less. This removes resistance and makes it easy to start. Want to read more? Read 1 paragraph. Need to exercise? Do 1 jumping jack. Struggling to work? Write 1 sentence. Once you start, you'll often continue. The key is to train yourself to act immediately, even if it's just a small step. Motion versus action, avoiding the trap of preparing. Many people mistake motion for action. They research, plan, or think about what they need to do, but they never actually do it. Reading about fitness isn't exercising. Watching business videos isn't running a business. Planning a project isn't completing it. The solution: ask yourself, am I acting, or just preparing to act? If you're stuck in motion, stop planning and take immediate action. How to force yourself to keep moving. Momentum doesn't just come from starting, it comes from consistently taking action. Even when motivation fades, you must keep moving. Make action automatic by attaching it to existing habits. After brushing your teeth, do 1 push-up. Create accountability. Tell someone your goal and ask them to check on your progress. Remove decision fatigue. Set a specific time for action each day so you don't waste energy deciding when to start. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most people wait until they feel motivated to act. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Action itself creates motivation. When you force yourself to take even the smallest step, your brain rewards you with a sense of accomplishment. This builds momentum and makes it easier to keep going. The key is to act first, feel motivated later. If you master this, nothing will be able to stop you. Breaking the cycle of inaction. How to overcome mental blocks. One of the biggest obstacles to taking action is the mental resistance that keeps us stuck. We tell ourselves we're too tired, too busy, or not ready. The truth is, these are just excuses created by our minds to avoid discomfort. The only way to break free is to understand what's holding us back and force ourselves forward. Why we get stuck in inaction. The brain is wired to avoid pain and seek comfort. Taking action, especially on difficult or unfamiliar tasks, feels uncomfortable, so the brain convinces us to delay. This leads to overthinking. We analyze every possible outcome instead of acting. Procrastination. We delay action because the task feels too big. Fear of failure. We avoid trying because we're afraid of making mistakes. If you don't take control, this cycle kills your potential. You must force yourself out of this loop by breaking through the mental resistance. The 5-second rule tricks your brain into action. One of the simplest ways to break the cycle of inaction is by using the 5-second rule created by Mel Robbins. The rule is simple. Whenever you feel hesitation, count down from 5 to 1 and move immediately. The countdown interrupts overthinking and forces you to act before doubt takes over. Once you move, momentum kicks in, making it easier to continue. This rule works because it bypasses the part of your brain responsible for self-doubt and fear. Instead of thinking, you simply act. Overcoming the too busy excuse. Many people claim they don't take action because they're too busy. But in reality, being busy is not the same as being productive. If something is important, you make time, not wait for it to appear. If a task feels overwhelming, break it into small, manageable steps. If distractions are keeping you stuck, eliminate them before starting. Turn off notifications, clear your workspace, etc. Time isn't the issue. Priority and focus are. You must stop waiting for the perfect moment and create one by acting. The 2-minute rule. Start small, build momentum. If a task feels too big, your brain will resist starting. The solution is the 2-minute rule. Shrink the task down to something that takes 2 minutes or less. Once you start, you often continue beyond 2 minutes, because the hardest part is getting started. This technique tricks your brain into action and removes resistance. Example: instead of "I need to write an article," start with "I'll write 1 sentence. Instead of "I need to work out," start with "I'll do 1 push-up. Instead of "I need to clean the house," start with "I'll pick up 1 item." Small actions lead to big momentum. The key is to train yourself to act immediately, no matter how small the step. Eliminate decision fatigue. Make action automatic. One of the biggest killers of action is decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion from making too many choices. The more decisions you have to make, the harder it becomes to act. To avoid this, create a set schedule for action. For example, work out every morning at 7 a.m. Use triggers to remind you. For example, after brushing your teeth, do 1 push-up. Eliminate unnecessary choices. Wear the same type of clothes daily, eat the same healthy breakfast, etc. By reducing the number of daily decisions, you free up energy to take real action. Action builds confidence, not the other way around. Many people believe they need confidence before they take action, but confidence comes from action, not before it. You don't become confident by waiting, you become confident by doing. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Action creates evidence of success, which builds self-belief over time. The biggest mistake you can make is waiting until you feel ready. If you always wait, you'll never act. The only way to become confident is to take action, even when you don't feel like it. Final thought: mastering the art of action. If you want to take control of your life, you must train yourself to act, even when it's uncomfortable. Every time you push through resistance, you make it easier to take action in the future. Start now. Count down from 5, take 1 small step, and build momentum today. Destroying procrastination. The power of immediate action. Procrastination is one of the biggest barriers to success. The longer you delay action, the harder it becomes to start. The key to overcoming procrastination is forcing yourself to act immediately, even when you don't feel like it. Why we procrastinate? Procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about avoiding discomfort. We procrastinate because the task feels overwhelming. We overestimate how difficult it is. We wait for motivation. We think we need to feel ready before taking action. Fear of failure. We avoid starting because we're afraid we won't succeed. We crave instant gratification. It's easier to watch TV or scroll on our phones than to work on long-term goals. To break free, you must reprogram your mind to take action no matter how you feel. The do-it-now mentality. Successful people have one key habit. They don't wait, they act. Instead of overthinking, they develop a do-it-now mentality. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. If a task feels overwhelming, break it down into a tiny first step. If you don't feel like doing something, do it for just 5 minutes. Action leads to more action. The hardest part is starting. Once you begin, momentum takes over. The pain-pleasure trick. Rewire your brain. Your brain avoids action because it associates work with pain and distractions with pleasure. To beat procrastination, you must reverse this link. Pain to inaction. Think about the negative consequences of not taking action. What will happen if you don't start now? Link pleasure to progress. Focus on how good you'll feel once you take action and complete the task. Your brain follows whatever it associates with pleasure. If you teach it that action equals pleasure, you'll stop procrastinating. The 10-minute rule. Overcome the resistance. Whenever you don't feel like doing something, use the 10-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll work on the task for just 10 minutes. After 10 minutes you can stop if you want, but most of the time you'll continue. This removes the pressure of starting, making action easier. Most of the time, once you start, your brain wants to keep going. The hardest part is the first few minutes. Avoiding the tomorrow trap. The biggest lie procrastinators tell themselves is I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month. Next month turns into never. The future version of you won't magically feel more motivated. The only way to change your life is to act now. Force yourself to take the first step. Action beats overthinking. If you want to overcome procrastination, you must force yourself to move. If you don't want to work out, put on your shoes and do one exercise. If you don't want to start a project, write one sentence. If you don't feel like making a call, dial the number before you have time to hesitate. Once you take the first step, the rest becomes easier. Final thought. The choice is yours. Every time you procrastinate, you train your brain to avoid action. But every time you push through resistance, you train yourself to act despite discomfort. You have two choices: stay stuck in procrastination or force yourself to move. The moment you stop waiting and start acting is the moment your life changes. Take the first step now. Mastering self-discipline, training yourself to take action. Self-discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. The problem is that most people rely on motivation, which is unreliable. Instead of waiting for motivation, you must train yourself to act regardless of your emotions. The myth of motivation. Many people believe that successful individuals are always motivated. This is false. Even the most disciplined people feel lazy, tired, or unmotivated at times. The difference is that they have built the habit of taking action anyway. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Your emotions don't determine your actions, your habits do. Success comes from consistency, not from feeling inspired. Instead of hoping to feel motivated, focus on building discipline through habits. The no matter what rule. The best way to develop discipline is by creating a no matter what rule for yourself. This means you go to the gym even if you're tired. You work on your goals even when you don't feel like it. You show up every day, no excuses. Discipline means removing the option to skip. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. How to build the habit of taking action. Discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you train. Here's how: start small. If you try to force massive discipline overnight, you'll fail. Instead, start with small wins. Read 1 page instead of trying to finish an entire book. Do 1 push-up instead of forcing a full workout. Write 1 sentence instead of aiming for a whole chapter. Small actions build momentum and discipline over time. Use the 5-second rule. Whenever you hesitate, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and take action before your brain can stop you. This interrupts procrastination and forces movement. Create a non-negotiable routine. Discipline thrives on routine. Set a fixed time each day for your important tasks. When you make action a habit, discipline becomes automatic. Eliminate temptations. Make action easy and distractions difficult. If you want to work out, place your gym clothes where you can see them. If you want to read, put your book on your desk instead of your phone. If you want to focus, block social media apps that waste your time. Your environment should push you towards action, not excuses. The power of identity change. Discipline isn't just about actions, it's about who you believe you are. Instead of thinking I have to be disciplined, start telling yourself I am a disciplined person. When you see yourself as someone who takes action, you naturally act. Every time you follow through, you reinforce this identity. Eventually, discipline becomes effortless because it's part of who you are. Final thought: discipline equals freedom. Many believe discipline is restrictive, but in reality, discipline creates freedom. When you're disciplined, you don't waste time on distractions. You don't feel guilty for procrastinating. You achieve goals faster and build the life you want. The choice is simple: live on your terms by mastering discipline, or stay stuck waiting for motivation that never comes. Take control. Act now. Breaking free from the comfort trap. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to take action is their addiction to comfort. The mind is wired to seek ease and avoid discomfort, which is why we naturally procrastinate on anything that feels challenging. If you want to force yourself to take action, you must train yourself to become comfortable with discomfort. Why comfort is dangerous? Comfort feels good in the moment, but it's the enemy of progress. Comfort keeps you stuck. If you always choose the easy path, you never grow. Comfort breeds procrastination. You put things off because they feel too hard. Comfort creates regret. In the long run, you'll regret not pushing yourself. Think about the most successful people in the world. They are not the ones who avoided difficulty. They are the ones who embraced the struggle. How to train yourself to embrace discomfort. If you want to become someone who takes action, you must reprogram your brain to stop avoiding discomfort. Here's how. 1. Do hard things on purpose. Challenge yourself daily with things that feel difficult. Take cold showers. Teaches you to control your mind when facing discomfort. Wake up early. Strengthens your willpower. Exercise even when you don't feel like it. Builds mental toughness. These small discomforts make bigger challenges feel easier over time. 2. Change your perspective on discomfort. Most people see discomfort as a bad thing, but in reality, it's a sign of growth. Instead of thinking, "This is hard, I don't want to do it," think, "This is hard, which means I'm getting stronger." Reframe discomfort as a necessary step toward success. 3. Use the 2-minute rule to overcome resistance. When you don't feel like doing something, tell yourself, "I'll just do it for 2 minutes." Start the task, and once you begin, you'll usually keep going. Action kills procrastination. 4. Reduce the decision-making process. One reason people stay in their comfort zone is overthinking. If you give yourself too much time to decide, you'll find an excuse. Instead of thinking, act immediately. Create routines that eliminate decision fatigue. Example: If you want to exercise, don't think about it, just put on your shoes and start. 5. Make discomfort your new normal. The more you push past your comfort zone, the stronger you become. Over time, things that once felt hard become easy. Public speaking used to be terrifying. Now it's second nature. Waking up early used to feel impossible. Now it's automatic. Starting a business seemed overwhelming. Now it's just another challenge. Your brain adapts. What once felt impossible will eventually feel normal, but only if you take action again and again. Final thought: you have to want growth more than comfort. Every day you have two choices: stay comfortable and stay the same. Embrace discomfort and grow. If you want to force yourself to take action, you must stop seeing comfort as your goal and start seeing growth as your priority. Push yourself. Do the hard things. Your future self will thank you. Eliminate excuses and take ownership. One of the biggest obstacles to taking action is excuses. The mind is a master at justifying inaction. It convinces you that you're too tired, too busy, not ready, or that conditions aren't perfect yet. But if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll wait forever. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to start. The only way to move forward is to eliminate excuses and take full ownership of your actions. The lies we tell ourselves excuses feel real, but they are nothing more than mental barriers. Here are some of the most common ones and how to destroy them. I don't have time. Everyone has the same 24 hours. If something is important, you'll make time for it. Cut distractions and prioritize what matters. I don't feel motivated. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Start moving, and motivation will follow. I'm not ready yet. You'll never feel 100% ready. Start now, and figure things out as you go. I'm afraid of failing. Failure is part of growth. Every successful person has failed. What matters is learning and improving. How to take full ownership of your actions. Excuses give away your power. When you blame circumstances, you put yourself in a victim mindset. But when you take full responsibility, you gain control. Here's how to shift your mindset. 1. Adopt an ownership mentality. Stop blaming external factors: time, money, people, luck. Take full responsibility for your success or failure. Understand that your actions alone determine your results. 2. Destroy excuses with immediate action. The moment an excuse enters your mind, act immediately. If you think, "I'm too tired to work out," stand up and do 10 push-ups. If you think, "I don't feel like working," open your laptop and start typing. Action kills excuses. 3. Make commitments you can't break. Tell someone your goal and set a deadline. Join a group where accountability is expected. Put money on the line. Pay for a coach, a course or a program, so you have a reason to follow through. 4. Develop a no excuses mindset. Train yourself to immediately reject excuses when they pop up. Replace "I can't" with "I must." Replace "I'll try" with "I will." The power of taking immediate action. Most people overthink and hesitate, but action takers move forward while others stay stuck. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to act without hesitation. If you truly want to force yourself to take action, you must stop making excuses, take ownership of your choices, and develop the discipline to act no matter what. There's no shortcut, just do it. Mastering self-discipline to take action. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without it, motivation fades, distractions take over, and progress stalls. If you truly want to force yourself to take action, self-discipline must become a core part of your mindset and daily habits. Why self-discipline beats motivation? Many people wait until they feel like doing something. The problem: feelings are unreliable. Some days you'll feel energetic and inspired, and other days you won't. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll remain inconsistent. Discipline is different. It's the ability to do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. It's the habit of showing up, putting in the work, and following through, even when it's uncomfortable. How to build unshakable self-discipline. 1. Commit to a clear goal. Define exactly what you want and why it matters. Write it down and visualize yourself achieving it daily. Without a strong purpose, it's easy to give up when things get hard. 2. Create an action plan. Break big goals into small, manageable steps. Set deadlines to create urgency. Track progress daily to stay focused. 3. Remove temptations and distractions. Your environment shapes your behavior. If you want to focus, eliminate social media, TV and other distractions. Make it easy to do the right thing and hard to do the wrong thing. 4. Follow the no matter what rule. Successful people don't negotiate with themselves. When you commit to something, do it, no matter how you feel. If you say you'll work out at 6 a.m., show up, even if you're tired. 5. Use the 5-second rule. The longer you hesitate, the harder it becomes to act. When you feel resistance, count down from 5 and take action immediately. This interrupts hesitation and forces momentum. 6. Embrace discomfort. Growth only happens outside your comfort zone. The more you push through discomfort, the stronger your discipline becomes. Train yourself to see discomfort as a sign of progress, not a reason to stop. 7. Be consistent, not perfect. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. You will have setbacks, but never miss 2 days in a row. The key is to keep going, even when it's hard. Action creates identity. Every time you take disciplined action, you reinforce the identity of a person who follows through. The more you prove to yourself that you are disciplined, the easier it becomes to act without hesitation. In the end, forcing yourself to take action isn't about waiting for motivation, it's about mastering self-discipline. When you do, nothing will be able to stop you. Overcoming mental resistance to take action. The biggest battle in taking action is not external, it's internal. Mental resistance is what stops you from doing what you know you should do. It's the voice in your head that says, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm too tired right now." If you want to force yourself to take action, you must learn how to overcome this resistance. Understanding mental resistance. Mental resistance appears in many forms. Procrastination. You delay tasks, convincing yourself that later will be better. Self-doubt. You question your abilities, making excuses instead of trying. Fear of failure. You hesitate, afraid that your efforts won't succeed. Perfectionism. You wait for the perfect moment instead of starting now. All of these are traps that keep you stuck. To break free, you must train yourself to push through resistance immediately. How to overcome mental resistance and take action. 1. Rewire your self-talk. Stop saying, "I'll do it later." Instead say, "I do it now." Replace, "I don't feel like it," with, "How I feel doesn't matter. What matters is progress." The words you say to yourself determine whether you act or stay stuck. 2. Reduce the startup friction. The hardest part of any task is starting. Make it easy. If you need to work out, just put on your shoes. Your brain will follow. If you need to write, just open the document. Momentum will take over. 3. Use the 2-minute rule. If something feels overwhelming, break it down into the smallest possible action. Tell yourself, "I'll do this for just 2 minutes." Once you start, your brain will want to continue. 4. Leverage the power of deadlines. Open-ended tasks create hesitation. Set a deadline for every action. Tell yourself, "I have 10 minutes to start this." The urgency will push you forward. 5. Take the first step. No matter how small, you don't need to finish the entire task. You just need to start. Action leads to more action. Once you take the first step, momentum makes the rest easier. 6. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time does not exist. Waiting only strengthens mental resistance. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Your mind will adapt. If you push through at first, forcing yourself to take action will feel difficult. But over time, your mind will adapt. You will become someone who takes action effortlessly. Resistance will lose its power, and progress will become automatic. In the end, action is the cure to hesitation. The moment you stop thinking and start doing, you break free from mental resistance, breaking free from comfort. The key to taking relentless action. Comfort is the silent killer of progress. It's easy to stay where you are, doing what feels familiar. But if you truly want to force yourself to take action, you must break free from the trap of comfort. Why comfort is dangerous? Comfort tricks you into thinking you're making progress, when in reality, you're standing still. It makes action feel unnecessary, because you're not experiencing urgency. It lowers your tolerance for discomfort, making even small challenges seem overwhelming. To take massive action, you must disrupt your comfort zone and create a mindset that thrives on discomfort. How to break free from comfort and push yourself to act. 1. Create urgency. If there's no urgency, there's no action. Your brain won't move unless it feels it must move. Set deadlines for everything, even personal goals. Attach serious consequences to inaction. Use time pressure. Give yourself only 10 minutes to start a task, forcing yourself to act quickly. 2. Make your goals public. Tell people what you're going to do. Announce your deadline. Social pressure will push you forward when motivation fades. 3. Eliminate the option of staying comfortable. Make your environment uncomfortable for laziness. Remove distractions, set up reminders, and place triggers that force action. Commit financially. Invest in courses, coaching, or tools that force you to take action. 4. Rewire your mind to love discomfort. Train yourself to associate discomfort with growth instead of pain. When something feels hard, remind yourself, this is where growth happens. Start seeking out small discomforts daily. Cold showers, public speaking, waking up early, to build mental toughness. 5. Use the what if I don't rule. When hesitation kicks in, ask yourself, what if I don't take action? What will my life look like in a year? If I keep avoiding this, who will I become if I never push myself? This will make inaction more painful than action, forcing you to move forward. Growth only happens when you force it. If you wait to feel ready, you'll stay stuck forever. The only way to break free is to push yourself past comfort. Force yourself into action, and make discomfort your new normal. Taking action isn't just about productivity. It's about transforming yourself into a person who moves forward no matter what. The power of daily discipline. How to stay consistent with action. Taking action once is easy. Staying consistent is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. If you want to force yourself to take action and keep going, discipline must become your default state, not just something you use when motivation is high. Why discipline beats motivation? Every time motivation is temporary, it fades the moment things get difficult. Discipline is permanent. It keeps you moving, even when you don't feel like it. Winners rely on discipline, not emotion. They don't wait to feel like it before taking action. If you want to build unshakable discipline, you must train your mind to act regardless of how you feel. How to develop unbreakable discipline. 1. Eliminate decision-making. The more you have to think about taking action, the less likely you are to do it. Remove friction. Make your action steps so easy to start that you can't make excuses. Automate routines. Set fixed times for your most important tasks. Use checklists. Write down what needs to be done so you don't rely on memory. 2. Use the never zeros rule. No matter how small, do something every day to move forward. Even if it's just 5 minutes, you're maintaining momentum. If you don't feel like working out, do 1 push-up. It's still progress. If you don't want to work on a project, spend 2 minutes brainstorming ideas. Small actions done daily turn into unstoppable momentum. 3. Create a system of accountability. When discipline is weak, accountability will keep you on track. Get an accountability partner who will call you out when you slip. Join a group where progress is tracked. Use apps that fine you money if you don't complete tasks. The more you make inaction painful, the more disciplined you will become. 4. Destroy the habit of making excuses. Excuses kill discipline. Train yourself to act first, think later. If your mind says, "I don't feel like doing it," move before you can rationalize why. Recognize excuses as lies. Your brain tells you to stay comfortable. Keep a journal of past excuses and challenge them. Most are based on fear, not reality. 5. Reward discipline, not results. Most people give up because they expect instant results. Instead of chasing results, reward yourself for showing up consistently. If you stick to your plan for a full week, give yourself a reward. Track your daily actions, not just outcomes. When discipline becomes your priority, results will follow automatically. Taking action is not about feeling like it. It's about doing it anyway. Those who achieve great things aren't special. They just master discipline so they can take action every single day, no matter how they feel. If you want success, stop waiting for motivation. Train yourself to act, no matter what. Overcoming resistance, pushing through. When you don't feel like it, the biggest challenge in forcing yourself to take action isn't the task itself, it's the resistance that comes before starting. That hesitation, doubt, and mental negotiation are what hold you back. To break free, you need strategies that eliminate resistance and make action automatic. Why resistance feels so strong? Your brain seeks comfort and safety. Anything that feels difficult is seen as a threat. Fear of failure makes you hesitate, even if logically you know taking action is the right thing to do. Overthinking kills action. The longer you think about doing something, the less likely you are to do it. Resistance is just an illusion, a mental wall that disappears the moment you take action. How to break through resistance instantly. 1. Use the 5-second rule. Count down from 5 and move before your brain can argue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up and start. Don't negotiate. Don't think. Move first, figure it out later. 2. Shrink the task to one action. If a task feels overwhelming, your brain will resist it. Instead, make the first step so small you can't say no. Instead of write a report, tell yourself to write 1 sentence. Instead of work out, commit to just 2 minutes of movement. Instead of clean the house, focus on 1 item. Starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, momentum takes over. 3. Use the do it badly strategy. Perfectionism creates resistance. If you wait to feel ready or good enough, you'll never start. Instead, give yourself permission to do it badly. Write a messy first draft. Record the video without worrying about mistakes. Start the workout, even if it's not perfect. You can improve later, but you can't improve what you never start. 4. Change your environment. To force action, your surroundings influence your behavior. If your environment encourages laziness, you'll struggle to take action. Make distractions harder. Keep your phone in another room. Make action easier. Lay out workout clothes the night before. Set up your workspace in advance. Surround yourself with doers. If the people around you take action, you will too. Your environment should push you toward action, not away from it. 5. Develop a trigger action plan. Link difficult tasks to something you already do. This removes resistance by making the new action automatic. After I brush my teeth, I will write one sentence. After I drink coffee, I will do 5 push-ups. After I finish a meeting, I will review my to-do list. By attaching new actions to existing habits, you eliminate the need for willpower. The key to winning: stop thinking, start moving. Every time you hesitate, remind yourself, resistance is a lie. The task isn't the problem, the delay is. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The moment you move, resistance disappears. The power of commitment: eliminating choice to guarantee action. When it comes to taking action, one of the biggest obstacles is having too many choices. The more decisions you have to make, the more likely you are to delay, procrastinate, or avoid action altogether. The solution: eliminate choice by making a firm commitment that removes any possibility of backing out. Why too many choices kill action? Decision fatigue. The more choices you have, the more exhausted your brain becomes. By the time you're ready to act, you've already spent too much energy deciding. Fear of making the wrong choice: you hesitate, overthink, and end up doing nothing. Lack of urgency: if you always have an option to do it later, you'll never feel the pressure to start now. How to remove choice and take immediate action. 1. Use pre-commitment to force yourself to follow through. Pre-commitment means locking yourself into action so that quitting is not an option. Sign up and pay for a class or event in advance. Publicly announce your goal so others hold you accountable. Set up automatic actions, for example, when schedule gym sessions in your calendar, and treat them like appointments. When you commit in advance, you don't have to decide later, you just follow through. 2. Create a no excuses rule. Make certain actions non-negotiable. Instead of asking, "Should I do this?" make it an automatic rule. I will work out every morning, no matter how I feel. I will write 500 words before checking social media. I will wake up at 6 a.m. daily, no matter what. By removing the option to debate with yourself, you take action without overthinking. Use the one-option method. Instead of giving yourself multiple options, create only one path forward. Instead of "Should I go to the gym or work out at home?" say, "I will go to the gym at 6 p.m. Instead of "Should I start my project today or tomorrow?" say, "I will start my project at 3 p.m. today." By narrowing your focus to one clear action, you eliminate hesitation and take control. 4. Attach a consequence to not taking action. If there are no consequences for inaction, you'll always find excuses. Make not taking action painful. Bet money on your goal. If you don't follow through, you lose it. Tell a friend to hold you accountable. If you fail, they get to choose a consequence for you. Attach a real-world cost to procrastination, missing out on an opportunity, delaying your success, or staying stuck in the same place. When the cost of inaction is high, you'll be forced to move forward. Action is a decision, not a feeling. Most people wait to feel like it before taking action. That's a mistake. Action comes from deciding, not from feelings. Remove choice, commit fully, and watch how easy it becomes to force yourself to take action every time. Mastering the art of relentless execution. Taking action once is easy. Taking action consistently, even when you don't feel like it, is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. The final key to forcing yourself to take action is mastering relentless execution, the ability to keep moving forward no matter what. The difference between amateurs and professionals: amateurs take action when they feel motivated. They wait for the perfect conditions. They let emotions dictate their behavior. Professionals take action whether they feel like it or not. They act based on commitment, not feelings. They don't negotiate with excuses. How to become relentless in taking action. 1. Develop the action first, emotion second. Mindset: stop waiting until you feel like it. Instead, act first, and your emotions will follow. Start the task, even if you're unmotivated. Do one small step. Motivation builds after action, not before. Train yourself to ignore your mood and move forward regardless. 2. Use micro-momentum to keep going. Momentum is the secret to effortless execution. When you stop, starting again feels hard. But if you keep moving, even slowly, you maintain momentum. Do something small every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Never let yourself take 2 days off in a row. Focus on progress, not perfection. Imperfect action is better than waiting. 3. Master the art of quick recovery. Even the most disciplined people have off days. The key is to recover fast instead of spiraling into inaction. If you slip up, restart immediately. Not tomorrow, not next week. Stop over-analyzing failure. Just get back on track. Treat discipline like a muscle. If you fall, use it as a chance to build strength. 4. Eliminate the identity of a quitter. When you force yourself to take action over and over again, you build a new identity. I am the kind of person who always follows through. I don't negotiate with excuses. I take action no matter what. Your mind adapts to the story you tell it. If you see yourself as someone who never quits, action becomes automatic. The final truth about taking action: success doesn't belong to the smartest or the most talented. It belongs to those who force themselves to take action, no matter what. If you master this skill, pushing past discomfort, ignoring excuses, and executing relentlessly, you will always be ahead of 99% of people. The choice is yours. Wait for motivation, or take control.